I'm Bridget. I'm from the US. I love learning languages and right now I'm focusing on Spanish. Hola a todos, yo soy Bridget, soy de los Estados Unidos. Me encantan los idiomas y ahora me estoy enfocando en el español. And to continue the series that I'm doing where I read one page of a book in Spanish, let's just jump right in. This is El Código Da Vinci, the DaVinci Code. Langdon emitió un gruñido. Topica bodega. Langdon emitió un gruñido. He let out a groan. La conferencia de aquella noche, una charla con presentación de diapositivas sobre la simbología pagana oculta en los muros de la catedral de Chartres. That's French. Seguramente había levantado ampollas entre el público más conservador. So the conference of the other night, or does aquella noche, is that the other night or this past night? A talk presenting the diapositivas. Diapositivas means slides, so presentación de diapositivas is a slideshow. Wow. So the conference of the other night, a talk with a slideshow about the occult pagan symbology in the walls of the Cathedral of Chartres? Must have or definitely ampollas? That word sounds familiar. Google is saying it means blisters, so maybe I did not know that word. Surely raised problems with the more conservative public. Y era muy probable que algún académico religioso le hubiera seguido hasta el hotel para entablar una discusión con él. And it was very probable that some religious academic had followed him to the hotel in order to entablar a discussion with him. Entablar, entangle, strike up, start, initiate, establish. Lo siento, dijo Langdon, pero estoy muy cansado. I'm sorry, Langdon said, but I'm very tired. Mais monsieur, insistió el recepcionista, bajando la voz hasta convertirla en un susurro imperioso. Su invitado es un hombre muy importante. But sir, insisted the receptionist, lowering his voice until it became un susurro imperioso, like an imperceptible whisper, imperative whisper. Su invitado es un hombre muy importante. Your inviter, the person inviting you or trying to talk to you, is a very important man. A Langdon no le cabía la menor duda. Sus libros sobre pintura religiosa y simbología lo habían convertido, a su pesar, en un personaje famoso en el mundo del arte, y durante el año anterior su presencia pública se había multiplicado considerablemente tras un incidente muy divulgado en el Vaticano. Langdon had no doubt. His books about religious paintings and symbology had turned him, a su pesar, despite himself, into a very famous person in the art world. And last year, his public presence had multiplied considerably because of an incident muy divulgado at the Vatican. Divulgado? I guess muy divulgado means widely spread. Probably means like very publicized. And the real ones know that that is referencing the book Angels and Demons. Desde entonces, el flujo de historiadores importantes y apasionados del arte que llamaban a su puerta parecía no tener fin. Since that time, the flow of important historians and apasionados, art lovers, that were calling at his door seemed to be unending. Pretty much. Si es tan amable, dijo Langdon, haciendo todo lo posible por no perder las formas, anote el nombre y el teléfono de ese hombre y dígale que intentaré contactar con él antes de irme de París el martes. Gracias. If he's so nice, said Langdon, trying as best he could not to lose his manners, take down the name and phone number of this man and tell him that I will try to contact him before I leave Paris on Tuesday. Thank you. Y colgó sin dar tiempo al recepcionista a protestar, and he hung up without giving the receptionist a chance to protest. Sentando en la cama, Langdon miró el librito de bienvenida del hotel que vio en la mesilla y el título que anunciaba «Duerma con un ángel en la ciudad luz. Sueñe en el Ritz de Paris». So, sitting in bed, Langdon looked at the small welcome book on the nightstand, which said, "Sleep like an angel in the city of lights, dream in the Ritz, Paris." Se dio la vuelta y se miró, soñoliento, en el espejo que tenía delante. El hombre que le devolvía la mirada era un desconocido, despeinado, agotado. So he turned and looked. Soñoliento, I want to say, is like sleepily. In the mirror that he had in front of him. The man who returned his gaze was unknown. Despeinado, I think, is like his hair was messy or a mess. Agotado is like exhausted. Despeinado here says disheveled. I've only heard this referring to hair. So if you're a native speaker who happens to be watching, does despeinado specifically mean your hair is disheveled, or does it just mean you as a person are disheveled? In any case, I'm not going to write that down because I feel like I got it. Te hacen falta unas vacaciones, Robert. You need a vacation, Robert. La tensión acumulada durante el año le estaba pasando factura, pero no le gustaba verlo de manera tan obvia reflejado en el espejo. So the tension that had been accumulating during the year was pasando factura, taking its toll. Pasando factura. So the accumulated tension during the last year was taking its toll, but he didn't like to see it in such an obvious way reflected in the mirror. Sus ojos azules, normalmente vivaces, le parecían borrosos y gastados aquella noche. I feel like I'm not sure what aquella means. I thought it was like over there. His blue eyes, normally vivaces, I want to say is like lively. That's right. So his blue eyes, normally very lively, seemed to him empty and spent this night, gastados, worn out. I'm not going to write that down because I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Una barba incipiente le oscurecía el rostro, decía mandíbula y barbilla con hoyuelo. Una barba incipiente, I think, is like the start of a beard. So stubble. So stubble was obscuring or covering el rostro, decía mandíbula y... I'm just gonna type this whole sentence in. A budding beard darkened his face with its strong jaw and dimpled chin. I'm gonna highlight that, but it really doesn't seem like vocab I'm gonna need to keep in my head. I'm just trying to be practical here. En las sienes, las canas proseguían su avance y hacían cada vez más incursiones en su espesa mata de pelo negro. I understand like 1 to 2 words in that. At his temples, the gray hairs continued to advance, making more and more incursions into his thick black hair. I'm highlighting that whole thing, but the only words I'm going to record are las sienes, the temples, and las canas, because I feel like I've heard that word before, meaning gray hairs. Aunque sus colegas femeninas insistían en que acentuaban su atractivo intelectual, él no estaba de acuerdo. Although his female colleagues insisted that it accentuated his intellectual attractiveness, he didn't agree. Well, it was going okay, and then at the end, things sort of fell apart, but that's all right. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget to hit subscribe because I have a long way to go. Hope to see you for the next page. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.